I am a huge fan of finding ways to mix the magic with the mundane. So I have 3 little simple rituals or spells that you can do to support and aid your new moon manifestation in a way that mixes with your daily life. Hello, my name is juliahalinahadas. I am a magical mixologist and witchcraft author of 4 books, 2 on the subject of moon magic, one of which is forthcoming on March 19th in 2024. Now, while I have been active on Instagram and my blog for many years, I am relatively new to YouTube. So if you're interested in magic, the moon, I would love it if you could stick around and like and subscribe. Now, these are essentially 3 spells that I had to move from my most recent moon magic book because I write too much. So instead, I did put them into a bonus for you. So you can grab this written version over on my website if you want to have something to reference. So the first one is an intentional incense ritual. It's really easy to reduce incense to simply aromatics, but lighting incense can really be a spell all on its own. The key is how you do it. Many of our ancestors burned incense in offering to their deities, to their own ancestors, and obviously, incense can have alluring ingredients that can match the energy of your intentions. So burning incense intentionally really can be a spell to support your new moon manifestation. So I have 2 specific examples for you. Now, when I was a little baby witch or teen witch, really, I used incense to connect to my favorite deity. But let's just say I probably should have failed my first driving test, but before I went out to this test, I lit an incense offering to my deity and specifically communicated for her help. So it's just one example of the way that you intentionally use incense as a form of communication, a form of prayer to your ancestors or spirit guides or deities, or to the moon, to a lunar deity, to really help with your manifestation. Now, another example is when I worked at a metaphysical store, we would start the day, and also do this recurringly throughout the day, by burning an incense again with intention. We would then walk this incense through the store and leave it right outside the door to draw customers in, and it really worked. Of course, the smell of incense does draw the right people into a metaphysical store, but at the same time, we would kind of put our intention into the incense, and you can notice a real difference. You can use an incense that has a scent that corresponds to your intention. Also, moon incenses that you can burn as well for this. You can burn incense in prayer to communicate to a lunar deity, to the essence and energy of the moon. This can be a great way to support new moon manifestation, especially on low effort days. How you can do this is just basically hold the incense, think of your intention, light it, then thinking of your intention, breathe to blow out the flame and feed the ember. So basically imagine breathing out your magical essence or the essence of your intention onto the incense to feed the embers that then produce the alluring smoke that draw your desires to you. You can also take it around your house to bless your home, and same thing we do at the metaphysical store. Take the incense stick around your doorway and leave it outside to draw those intentions to you. That's also something you can do throughout the waxing cycle to support your goals, or you can do it just on every Monday, since that's the moon's day, to continue supporting your new moon manifestation. So my second little simple spell that meshes the magic with the mundane is a new moon morning sun tea. Moon sun tea? What? But hear me out. Now, I am sure that you have heard of starting your day with like a lemon or cucumber infused water, at least for someone like me that watches a lot of productivity help videos. It's praised to be like great for obviously hydration, but starting your day off right to be productive, motivated, and focused. Now, another thing you may or may not have heard of, it is also quite common, is sun tea, which is basically instead of boiling your hot water in a tea kettle, steeping herbs in that hot water, you let the sun do it for you. So you basically put your tea in a jar of water and leave it out to infuse in the rays of the sun. The thing is, at the time of the moon actually rises and sets with the sun. They're moving together through the sky. So this is a great way to make like a new moon morning sun tea. It's a really great way to get that new moon and sun aligned energy and to support whatever intentions you set under that new moon. And so you get to make your infused water for productivity, as well as, you know, during the early parts of the waxing cycle, making this water to help support support you as you begin to nurture those dreams into reality. Because the waxing cycle is full of so much potential, but there's also a lot of vulnerability when we don't quite believe in our aspirations yet. So I love working with this to support productivity and focus and making an aligned tea. So basically how I do this is when I get up, or if I wake up at dawn, you never know, I'm up at all kinds of odd hours. I'll, put whatever it is I'm infusing in a jar with water, put it outside. Now the key thing is really to charge it with your intention, right? So hold the infusion. When you go out there, think of the new moon and sun aligned in the sky together. Think about your connection to them. You can imagine just like moonlight and sunlight pouring through you, with you charging that energy with your intention and down your hands and into the tea. Or you can like say it into the tea. You can write on a piece of paper and place it underneath and leave it out to infuse with the new moon and the sun moving together through the sky until about midday, because that's when they're going to be at their peak before they begin their descent for the day. Now, obviously you don't have to leave it out for that long. You can also like make a big batch and keep it in your fridge and use it for the week. Now, another kind of fun, like hippie thing to think about here, water and liquid is associated with the moon, right? So you can think of that correspondence, and also that water is really powerful for holding on to intentions. I'm sure you've heard lots about that. So I think this is a great way to think about charging this water with your intention and then leaving it out under the supportive energy of the rising sun and new moon at the start of them moving together, especially at the waxing cycle. This is really just a great time to support your energy and your sense of positivity and productivity as you begin to make space for your spells to manifest. Again, you can check out the bonus. I put together a little example there that goes into more detail with a little bit of additional ritual. Now, this next one works with the same kind of general idea. Now, many people tend to work with affirmations on the new moon. They're essentially positive statements that are kind of spoken matter-of-factly that reinforce the energy of what you're trying to bring in. So, for example, money flows to me. Today is a successful day and I am productive. Just to kind of give a general example, intertwine like with a chant or maybe a petition paper or phrase you wrote as part of a spell. To me, sometimes though, affirmations on their own really just need a little bit more of a magical support. I like to create a mist that I spray as I am saying my affirmation, and it helps to really attract those outcomes to me and just shift kind of my perception and my energy. I really find this to be powerful because a lot of time we self-sabotage our intentions or our spells because of our limited perceptions and beliefs, and combining the act of saying an affirmation with kind of shifting the energy and doing this on a daily basis can really help allow those things to flow into you when you're feeling a little bit blocked. How I like to do it is akin to, again, that sun tea. Basically, you can infuse the base for your mist, the water base, with a magically supportive herb, again, from dawn to midday on the day of the new moon, or, the day before or after. Hold it, charge it, think of your intention, kind of like how we talked about for the sun tea, or kind of putting your hands and blessing the herbs or whatever that you're infusing into the water, kind of praying over it, because again, water holds on to energy. And then thinking of the moon and sun aligned, and then you can actually repeat your intention or affirmation and leave it until midday to charge. You can then strain it and add your favorite essential oils or oils corresponding to your intention, but again, totally optional. You don't have to put any herbs or essential oils into it. You can also just put out your mist that you already want to use, or make a rose water that you would probably use as part of your beauty routine anyway. You can also add a bit of alcohol to help preserve your spray. If you aren't going to add some kind of preservative, you're going to want to keep it in the fridge. Usually it lasts about a week, so just something to think about. Now, you make this once and ideally it lasts you a while. Then when you say your affirmation as part of your nighttime and morning routine, look at yourself in the mirror. And then while spraying the mist around your body, you are going to say your affirmation confidently. It's another way that you can infuse something that you might do anyway with a bit of magic. Now again, I do have instructions for this in that bonus that I mentioned. I also like to use for my third book, the Modern Witchcraft Book of Astrology, the Cosmic crystal rose water. So there you have it, 3 simple spells. These really mix the magic with the mundane, so that way you can stay consistent in your new moon practice, and that way you can intertwine magic into things that you are already doing. But I hope this has been helpful and inspired some ideas of your own. I'm going to link to a couple articles. There's a women's health article that I was interviewed for that has 12 new moon rituals that are just super approachable, so definitely check that out. Let me know in the comments. If you want to support my work, I am on Patreon. It's a great way to connect with me and get bonus content, or you can also connect with me on other platforms. So yeah, thank you for joining me.